Stanbic IBTC Holding PLC is going to be listing 2.9 billion shares. Trading license holder are hereby notified that additional 2.9 billion ordinary shares of 50 kobo each of Stanbic IBTC Holding were on Wednesday, 25th of June 2025, listed on the daily official list of Nigerian Exchange Limited, which is NGX. So the additional shares arose from the company's right issue of 2.944 billion ordinary shares of 50 kobo each at 50 naira per share on the basis of 5 new shares for every existing 22 ordinary shares held at the close of business on Tuesday, 29th of October 2024. So with the listing of these additional shares of 2.9 ordinary shares, the total issue and fully paid up shares of Stanbic Holdings PLC has now increased from 12.956 to 15.901. So guys, that is what, when I did this video, I showed you guys, I showed you guys that the shares is actually 15 billion. So it was 12 before. So with this, that's what increased it to 15. So when we were looking at the raise, but we are still watching. I believe most of you have placed your bet. I saw your comment. So let's wait for it to show. So guys, today we are going to be looking at the market reports. And if you stick to the end, we are going to look at NEMIT and look at some price appreciation. And one thing you should learn, either you have it or not, so it will guide you to know how to actually trade, that sometimes you need strong mind to actually make money. You understand? And also, I want to comment on those people who want to buy the course and those people who are subscribing. See, the beautiful thing about what we are doing is something that will make you recover your money. You're not doing something that you will not be the one to, I don't know how to put it. There are some courses you buy. After you buy, you'll be the one to actually do some certain things before you see money. And the person will convince you that it's good to invest in yourself. I'm not denying that, but what I'm saying is you are learning what you will use to make money. Like, you will make the money back. I don't know if you get the point. You make the money back. So it's like you're just getting it for free. So imagine you're getting a course with 200,000 and you enter the market with 500,000, 1 million naira, and you're able to. Somebody in my group actually followed this call that I made. This NEMIT call here. Where is the NEMIT call? This NEMIT call here. Somebody followed this call, and this was done 1 month ago. Follow this call and made close to 500k, and even send me a 10%. Send me 10% of that money, which I think made this weekend to be excellent. So I'm just sharing the fact that I stated it clearly. Yeah, you buy at 305 and sell at 620. So you all need to understand that by Monday, NEMIT closed 594. So by Monday, we'll shoot above this. So it's just 100%. And my own style of trading is 50-100. You understand? It's 50-100. So with a stock that has great potential like this, that can actually hit 10. So what I will do is I'll just release half of the shares and hold on to half. So why I'm holding on to half, even though if you dip again, I will not be bothered because I've actually taken my profit and capital. So just to share light concerning NEMIT here, we're not looking chart here. So let's quickly jump to the weekly chart so that we can see what is going on. I just told you guys about Stanbic listing 2.9 billion extra shares based on their rights issue, and that has been concluded. So we quickly move to the green bond that we have. So we have and trading license notified these 21% series guarantee fixed rate infrastructure bonds due 2035 under 50 billion bond issuance program was listed on the exchange limited on Wednesday 25th. So we have this also listed on the exchange. So that is interesting. Let's quickly check another information. So for those of us who are actually who watched the dividend playbook that I did here, guess I'll still have that dividend playbook. No, dividend cheat code, guys. It was a cheat code I gave you guys then. So I know a lot of you, this is the part 2. Where is the part 1? So this is the part 1. So a lot of you took advantage of some of the trend, and it's one thing to learn, is one thing to comprehend. So some of us actually got that, some knowledge are being caught. You understand? Not everything is being taught. Some are being caught. So some people, when they were watching it, they say, I got what this guy is doing. Wow, this guy is genius. Let me go to work. And they started doing those stuff, and apology for those who were actually trapped in Julius Badger. I understand. That's why I quickly rushed to the group to actually encourage you guys to go for MPF, because MPF yield as at that time was actually higher than Julius Badger, but some has already got into it. So I think you should exit if because entry then was 123, if I'm not mistaken, it was 123. So I saw JB exchanging hands at 127, which you can exit, and after you've received your dividends. So congratulations, guys. And also, if you followed it, that shows that you should be in this also, which is Azamazad. So Azamazad got to 10. If you were watching my video, then I told you that 9 is a good price to go in, and I told you guys that why, because after the markdown you still remain profitable, and that happens here. And also I also encourage you guys that have MPF. I say the right thing to do for MPF is to average down then exit. So if you follow my lead, when MPF got to 190 something, if you average down, your entry should be 210, 215, and at the point of 220, you should exit and also check out another dividends for you to play out with. So congratulations to those that actually bought Azamazad. You will receive your dividends very soon. So let's quickly look at the top losers. One of the top losers is Multiverse and ABC. Let's quickly jump here and give Multiverse. So this is Multiverse mining and exploration. So Multiverse mining and exploration is actually did not perform well this week. You can see the shutdown here. This is a sharp dip. Yeah, this is a sharp dip, and we wouldn't know close to this point. Either we'll get a golden cross or we'll get a dead cross. So any of these, looking at the 200-day moving average and the 50-day moving average, guys, this is just for long time. This too is for long time. So you should understand how moving average work. So these are some things I will teach in my course. So there are different numbers, and they have meaning depending on what you want to achieve. So if I'm researching Multiverse, I will launch different tools to actually get what I want. But for videos, I want to do a simple tools where it will not going to be complicated. You understand? So you look at lower. There are some trading you need to use 20-day moving average. You have to merge it with 75. So I'll have a list of those codes that you can use based on what you want to achieve. Another one, if you want to look at when a bear market will start, there's another numbers that you can use to actually achieve this. Just as you throw more light. So we're still looking at Multiverse. Another one we'll look at is ABC. ABC actually went down also. So this is ABC went down. This is daily charts. So it went down also after this. So you can see, if you're a trader in the market, you make money if you can kill emotion. Let's say you are working with 15%. I can close my eye and open it and tell you stocks that will give you 15%. So if you are doing that, excellent. But when you are looking at 50%, because of the rules of NGS, you'll be able to get that. So let's quickly look at top gainers. So top gainers is actually Nemit. Nemit actually led the top gainers. That's massive, guys. That's massive. So when I discovered Nemit, for those of us who watch, in fact I did like two or three updates for Nemit. So I told you guys that, it got to this part and came down, and some people will be angry. And I told you guys that I'm ready to hold. Even if it comes down around this area, I will buy more. Because why? I've done my research. So if after research, if your stock is coming down, it's opportunity. Let's say you want to go and buy a car, and they say the car is 10 million naira or 30 million naira. And later the car, okay, after you bought, they now say the car has dropped. And you know the value and the quality. You go and buy 2 extra because you'll be sure that maybe the price will jack up back so that you sell them and make profit. So this is how it is. If you bought around 3 and you now realize that after getting to this place, the thing pull back, some people are saying, the Nemit is not moving. I want to sell. I'll say sell. Of course. So because I don't know if you are doing swing trading or if you are doing positioning trading or if you are holding for a long time. So I wouldn't know. So if you ask me to sell, actually, are you making profit? Yes. Is that the bottom line? Or either you're a swing trader, position trader, any trader you are. In fact, you can create a new name and call yourself 9 to 5 trader. You get the point. So if you are doing anything, the bottom line is for you to make money. that the goal, all of us that are here, the goal. If you say you know fundamental analysis from A to Z, we want to see you make money. If you say you know TA, technical analysis guru, we want to see you make money. Sentimental analysis, we want to see you. If you know you have details, you know the shareholder, everybody that, Oga, are you making money? If it is yes, I want to learn your style. That is, I want to learn your style. So everything is all about result. Nobody reward effort, is result. If you are producing result, you get rewarded. So that is what I just want to share. So you can see Nemit, the Nemit movement was actually tough, because I told you guys that around this area we are going to break it. If we not break it, we will reject it, and we got rejected. Yeah, and it came down to this point, and I'm very, very sure some people will say, because some people ask me then, should I say? I say no, hold, because I said I'm still holding my own. I'm the one that said you should buy, and I'm still holding. And I said the reason why I'm holding, even though if you come down to this part, I won't regret to. It is too late to regret in the market. That was when I started. Then that's why if I see anybody saying I know, I understand. It's a matter of time. So what you should have done is to load more. And those of us those who are kind of smart, on a norm, if I'm following the system back to back, I will close here and I'll come here again and buy again. You understand? But I have a lot of things to do on my table, so I just check it, take position, and leave it and wait for my reward. So you can see how let me shoot up to this point. So we are currently at this area here. So by tomorrow, if we do another 10%, let me take a ruler and see from here. If we do a 10%, let's come down a bit. So from here, if we do a 10%, we are looking at 660. You understand? We're looking at 660. So if we get to 660 on Monday, which you will see a lot of people offload their stock on Monday, because those that bought 3 and now is above 100%, they want to take profit. Do you know what it means to make 100% in a month? In a month, 100%. That's what we target in the wealth circle. We target 6 months for 100%, and we are getting it in just a month. So a lot of people will take profit. Why a lot of people will still hold? So if there's a pullback now from 660, we might find support around 5 upward. So you see them now selling around 520, 540. If the trend did not continue, because you can see that this trend is supported by volume. If it does not continue, it's going to over like that. Then if we shoot another 10%, which is 20, we are looking at 715. That is if we continue at that 10%. Because now a lot of people will be taking profit, and they are going to, formerly it was ELLAHLAKES that actually pulled the volume. But now we've seen that ELLAHLAKES no level. You understand? So we have a lot of dump. So it's not available. You get the point. So we get to this point. Then if another 10% happen again, let's say for straight 3 days, we're able to get another 10%. So this gives us 780. So from 780, if we get another 10%, let's see where that will take us to. Another 10% will take us to 840. So at 840, you're already on 200%. But see, don't allow greed to come in. No, this is just projecting. If you enter around the area where I recommended it and you've made profit, realize it. And if it's still shooting, and if you are disturbed, you say half, so that your mind will not be what is the price? You understand? So that is it for Nemit. Let's look at ELLAHLAKES. These are the top gainers in the market. So this is ELLAHLAKES. ELLAHLAKES pushed to this point, and currently ELLAHLAKES is 7. So I won't be surprised. I expect ELLAHLAKES to come back here to retest. I won't be surprised if ELLAHLAKES come to this part. And if it comes to this part, we might either see this support area, we either see it broken down. So either see this support got broken or sustained. So any of them will be watching, and I'll be here to update you guys. So ELLAHLAKES actually messed up. A lot of people thought this run would be massive, but it is the market. Whatever goes up must surely come down. So that is what happened. And for the first time in the history of the market, 78 equity appreciated in price during the week, higher than 55. equities in previous week. Guys, there are a lot of volume in the market. So 27 equities depreciated in price, lower than 42 in the previous week, while 43 equities remain unchanged, lower than 51 recorded in the previous week. So guys, there are so many things to look out for, and this is NGS and also NGS 30, and these are some NGS 30 index and all that. And if you look through this year to date, you find that there is only one particular, which is NGS oil and gas, that's actually down. I think this actually contributed, the Iran stuff contributed to this, and every other thing is positive. Guys, the land is green. The land is green. You understand? So, but most times this is not. Imagine somebody now buying Nemit at 594. What do you want to tell that person? Question: will the person still make money? Yes, but if the person is targeting huge return, the person might at the end of the day become a bag holder, or I might be the one selling to the person on Monday. You understand? So, but ideally, if you miss a train, you look for the next one. That's how it is in life. If you go to a bus stop and your bus left, you look for another one for you to join. You don't start running and chasing. It's not. Sometimes you run and chase and catch, but it's not always advisable. So if you look at the volume, you look at everything, this price discovery, and let me jump in. You know you're taking risks. It's calculated. You say, after all, if I didn't make it, I will average down. I beg, something must kill a man. Let me jump. And you enter and you're like, first the 10%, second the 10%. You quickly jump. I say, please, I entered late too. You move out. You understand? I'm not saying you should do that too. So I'm just sharing, but just keep an eye for the next one that will do the same numbers. So the NGS index and market capital appreciated by 1.57% and 1.92% to close the week at 119.995 and 75 trillion respectively. So similarly, all other indices finished higher, with the exception of NGS oil and gas index, which depreciated by 2.23. This is largely because of Orlando. You know, I told you guys, Orlando is jump out stock, so you don't want to remain there. So these are the bond market. We have a total of 143,857 unit value at 134.173 million. We traded this week in 44 deals, compared with a total of 106,836 unit value at 104,905 million transacted last week in 58 deals. So we had this ETF. So I'll be doing a video on how to trade ETF. You know, I discovered that a lot of people just know about the USD. So let me bring this to you guys. So that I'll be the first to teach about ETF in our space. If you have any video of somebody that have taught ETF, maybe you should let me know. Send it to me. But for me, I have not seen it. So that will be dropping tomorrow. So guys, this chart lets you know that money is actually leaving this area. Yeah, if you look at previous analysis that we're doing, you notice that the NGS banking, that is the financial services, always take a huge, if not 70%. But right now you see that it's 52, and we have 10% for service, we have 10% for agriculture, and we have 28% for others. So you see, the regulatory forbearance issue actually opened the eyes of investors that we don't need to gather here again. Let's diversify. That's why all these volumes were pumping into other stocks, and you saw how they were shooting. You look at how the banking stocks are actually coming down. So these are insights that you need to know. So these are some transactions that actually took place. You can see volume has actually increased. 130 stock traded, guys, and 46 advanced 22. You can see the numbers. We are no longer doing 75. No. Look at numbers. You understand? These are turnover 21 billion. These are numbers, guys. So there is a lot of volume in the market, and this is a total turnover of 3.903 billion shares worth 102 billion in 114,484 deals were traded this week by investors on the floor of the exchange, in contrast to a total of 3.566 billion shares value at 115,403 billion that exchanged hands last week in 99,960 deals, guys. So the financial industry measured by volume, like the activity chart, 2.030 billion shares value at 41.934 billion traded in 42,959 deals, thus contributing 52% and also 41% to a total equity turnover volume and value respectively. So the service industry followed with 396.590 million shares worth 4.596 billion in 8,105 deals. Third place was the agriculture industry with a turnover of 385.704 million shares worth 14.469 billions in 10,515 deals. So the trading top three equities, namely Fidelity, Access, and Zenith. So these accumulated 864.681 million shares worth 25.955 billion in 14,136 deals, contributing 22% and 25% total equity turnover volume and value respectively. So despite what is happening, you can see just a little percentage that entered the other sectors, and you see how market was just pumping and everybody was just smiling. So imagine if another 10% is pushing out of the financial services. So a lot of people, the market don't like uncertainty. So first, Access Bank is also holding their meeting, and they are considering to pay interim dividends. Those not to pay, so those are the consideration they are going to discuss. So if you have if a news comes out that they are paying interim dividends, of course the dividend army will be so happy, because that will trigger our program. I know they are going to pay, because if they do not pay, the industry is going to suffer. I'm telling you, a lot of people will dump their shares, so they are going to pay. It might not, they promise 1 naira. Access Bank promised 1 naira interim dividends. But with this news of regulatory forbearance, if they can sustain it, others will also follow suit, so that Access will not absorb or will not attract shareholders or investors. So that is few informations you need to know. And just a few, looking at Zenith. Zenith, we actually had a transaction dealing. This is purchase. So somebody bought 5,000 units, 99,000 units, 102, 200,000 units, 700, and this one is a good entry, 36. That's massive. And 57. So all 1.2 million units at this. So let's look at the person buying Zenith Staff Provident Fund. Okay. So let's look at another information. NACO, this is a past new one. This is past 77. Good entry. NACO actually pull back in the market, if you're in the market. And you remember I told you guys here that NACO will get to 200. Where's the video? Where are you guys? And this is it. I told you NACO will get to 100. That's 13 days ago, and it did. So if you are in the market, you should have made good money. So where are we? Better Glass also. Better Glass has been shooting, pull back to 205, and continue the raise again. So they're paying dividends of 2.95 was declared also. So these are the outcomes from their resolution passed at the 2024 annual general meeting of Better Glass. So we also have Cutis. The time I did a video for you guys, and I told you guys that you should sell Cutis. I don't know how many investors were able to follow that my call. I said you should be selling Cutis. I don't want to do a video and tell you sell Cutis. So if you've sold Cutis, then by now you should put the money in somewhere that will actually bring in some good returns. But if you did not sell it then, so you don't need to sell it. You don't need to sell it again. You just need to hold it, so that you're not saying Investor Joe, you say I should sell. So why I said you should sell is I know Cutis will not move. You understand? Cutis will not move. As at that time, Cutis will not move. You understand? So that's why I say you should sell, because I know other stocks are ready to move. They are ready. They've pumped to move. So that's why I said you should load your bag then on other stocks. So they pump, and you've made money. Even Cabatin also. Cabatin is actually strong, guys. Cabatin is strong, and we're going to look at how it's going to perform. Let me move to daily. So this daily, after a breakout, a retest, Cabatin played excellently well. He got rejected, pulled back here, broke out, pulled back again, and now he's shooting. So imagine you did not, you're still holding Cutis, and so you just have to be careful. Not everybody tell you to buy stock, and you just I don't want to say much, so but you just know what I'm trying to say. So be smart. Be smart. This is volume. You want to ensure that it is right. Now, one way you use to make money in the market is to understand trend. You understand? Trend give you insight. That's why in my course, after you master TA, after you master fundamentals, what you now need to master is sentimental analysis, which that is where you get trend from. For example, the current news flying now is the tax bill. So the question, have you asked yourself, how will this tax bill is going to be? How can I make money from it in the market? Don't say it is good or bad. How am I going to use this information? Because either you say it is good or bad, it's not going to change anything. If it's going to change anything, continue. You understand? Continue. But if you know, if I talk from now till nothing will happen, just ask yourself, how can I profit from this? So how are you going to profit from this? So you look at all the news. That's what I've been doing, and that's what I will share with my premium community tomorrow when we are meeting. So we are going to look at it and see how we're going to take advantage of it, because those money will come through a sector. So there is a software that will power it to collect the money, because they imagine custom, Nimasa, a lot of department like that, or let me not call it department, let me call it parastatals, or a lot of ministry. They are adding them together, and we have Nigerian Revenue Service. So payment will be done, a particular bank will be used, a particular software will be used, a particular company will get that contract to undo some of all these things. So all these things, want to look at how we're going to take advantage of it. And our tax system will be up, and you see some companies pulling up from this that want to help you how to file your tax. So you're gradually coming to that stage where you have to learn how to pay tax, or all those stuff like that, and you become, you know how it happens in the other world. So we are coming to that stage. So if you're out there, maybe this is an opportunity. Maybe some companies that people establish abroad, maybe this is time you can look at it that let me come and start this thing in Nigeria, and you contact one or two. How am I going to go about it? You register and all that, because we are gradually coming to that stage. So guys, I want to be sure we've talked about a lot of things. I don't want you to have information overload. I don't want you to have analysis paralysis. So I want to be sure that you get some informations. I've talked a lot here. So in case you are confused at this point, maybe you can watch again to see what. So we look at equity report, we look at top gainers and top losers, and we discuss about Caverton, and we discuss about Nemit also. And what did we talked about again? We talked about VFD also. We have a lot of people selling at this price. Who are those selling? Template Limited selling, and we have ELLAHLAKES notice for authorization of capital of 250 billion. Of course, I don't know what they want to use it to do. So you can come and read all this. I showed you guys how to get all this information. In case you are just watching me now, jump over and come and watch this a video, dividend date. Come and watch it so that I can know how to get all this information. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you get notified to my posts and enriching videos like this. Until I come your way again, keep making money and keep protecting your profits. I love you, my friends, and there is nothing you can do about it. Hands to earth salute. See you in the next one.